Darfur Genocide by Jesse and Maxwell. The aggressors were the Sudanese government led by Omar Al Bashir, along with the local Arab militias known as the Janjaweed, were the two rebel groups known as the JEM and SLA, made up by the three ethnic groups Fur, Zaghawa, and Masalit. Before the genocide began, there was tension between the government and the ethnic groups because of their decisive policies that separated the ethnic groups. What started the Darfur Genocide? In April of 2003, the JEM and SLA attacked a Sudanese Army airbase located in Khartoum in protest to the government's rule. As a response to the attack on the airbase, the Khartoum government mobilizes and arms a militia to exterminate the JEM. This militia goes on to kill 300,000 civilians living in Fur, Masalit, and Zaghawa communities. The Janjaweed's methods included burning civilian homes and violently killing any rebel forces. They also bombed villages along with displacing people in the desert, leaving them to the elements. The Janjaweed resorted to these brutal tactics because they had been fighting the rebel forces for 1 full year and had not suppressed the rebellion, which resulted in them going to extreme measures. The genocide lasts about 2 years, and between 100,000 and 400,000 civilians die, and 2 million civilians are displaced. The United Nations and African Union placed peacekeeping troops to serve as a buffer. As time went on, the revolution grew and the Bashir regime was overthrown. As a result, the conflict in Darfur settled down, and the Sudanese government signed a peace treaty with many of the rebel groups. However, the war is still not over. Omar first came to power as a tyrannical dictator in 1989 when he replaced an ousted military general. During his time in power, he was found guilty on multiple charges of electoral fraud and was incarcerated for 3 years. After his sentence, Omar founded the National Congress Party, of which was the dominant political party in Sudan, allowing Omar to seize power again. Omar Al Bashir went on to change many policies in Darfur that sparked multiple rebellions to form in protest to the policy changes. In response to these rebellions, Omar would arm local Arabian militias and send them to rape, murder, and slaughter the ethnic groups of Darfur. This continued until 2019 when Omar was captured in a coup d'etat and handed over to the ICC. In 2006, the United Nations officially stated that Darfur was the worst humanitarian crisis. Omar Al Bashir was held accountable for 3 separate counts of genocide in Darfur. However, the fighting is still not over. The citizens that fled from the crisis in Darfur are still fleeing to this day. Approximately 360,000 people are suffering in one of 13 refuge camps set up in eastern Chad. There are not enough resources to go around, and threats from outside and inside the camps still run rampant. To help, we could have provided humanitarian aid to the survivors who fled. We could have provided resources to spare, along with prevent threats.